Hello, everybody. This is Kastner-Lang, host of Dharma Unfiltered, coming in on episode, I believe, 9 of this podcast. I'm here in Dousman, Wisconsin, Ottawa, Wisconsin specifically, just south of Dousman. I'm actually in my basement right now. You'll be able to see my chalkboard. Me and my buddies, we always, when we're down here just hanging out, we always like draw stuff up on there. Everything has a meaning. But Anyway, we have a very, very, very special guest on today. I've been looking forward to doing this. His name is Lance Kearse, and I believe I pronounced that correctly. And so basically, I was at the Coconut Grove Farmers Market down in Miami a couple weeks before I actually went there and sold ketchup or taste tested ketchup. And I don't know, man. It's just like law of attraction is a real thing because I just saw Lance. We just started talking. I said, "You sell some in here?" He's telling me about how he sells his sea moss there, and within 30 seconds, we're talking about, I guess, a lot of the bots and the kind of the negative implications of what's going on with social media and society today. As like it was the first like month or two of my for this like first semester of college at the University of Miami, and I'm constantly surrounded by like not necessarily the energy that I wanted to be. I found Lance and I'm like, shit, like this is finally like a real person that I'm able to have a conversation with. So Lance, if you just want to introduce yourself, where were you born? What was your upbringing like? What have you done? Go for it.
Okay, so my name's Lance Kearse, born in Fort Myers, Florida. Um, Played basketball for the majority of my life. I played professional basketball in Spain. Played a little, had a tryout with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Got cut in tryout like the last week, last day, whatever. Uh, let's say me, I feel like, the most important thing about myself to know about me is that I suffer from sickle cell trait, and now I no longer suffer from sickle cell trait because of things that I've figured out throughout life to be able to cope with it. College graduate, business owner, model, trainer, you name it. I do it all. I'm a jack of all trades, and I'm Jamaican, so my father's Jamaican, so it's in the blood to have 1,000 different trades. That's
Yeah.
about it about me. It's my life, so to me, it's boring. Right?
Well, yeah. So what's interesting to me is like if you look at like a surface level, I guess like me and you seem to come from very, very opposite, not opposite, but very, very like different backgrounds and like upbringings and stuff. But then like when you when we finally like met and we started talking, it's like we were literally on the same exact like wavelength. Like I'm talking about how I'm walking around campus and all I see is like kids walking around on their phones and I'm like, this is like I thought I was like escaping like here, like high school. Like I thought I was escaping all the immature shit that high schoolers were doing, and I was gonna be around like smarter kids, and I'm like, shit, like that's just like, I guess not.
No, that's not how it works. I think what you're probably are accustomed to, or what you're wanting, is a life like back in the '90s. Like in the '90s, people didn't have cell phones, right? They had beepers and they had like pay phones and stuff like that. So it was normal for people to walk around looking up and speaking and saying hello, making eye contact and waving and nodding, body language. So now we're in a situation now where those things are not needed per se, or aren't exercised. So now people are just lazy and just, okay, well, I have my technology. If I want to hide from something, I put my face down into my phone, and I don't have to deal with the real world. I don't have to say hello. I don't have to say please, thank you. I don't have to use those normal human gestures to to indicate that I'm alive, right? So I think that's what you're wanting, and I don't think life will ever go back to that. I think unless there's a technology that brings people back from the phone back into real life and to interact. But I feel like on the way to want to go their destiny because we're all obsessed with destiny, not the journey. I feel like up until that point, people get to point A to point B. In between that point A to point B, no one's gonna. You never see that again. There's not gonna be little excitement in between. It's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily.
Except for
I don't know if that's necessarily like what I want. Like kind of when we were talking, like I was like, just because I was constantly seeing the negative implications of social media and like social media not being used the right way, I'm saying we were talking, like I'm saying social media is the problem. Like we gotta like either like get people off of it or you're like or like I was thinking I was deep into thinking about like making a different platform for people to share ideas, and then you're like social media is the platform, like Instagram, Snapchat, that the platform is right there, and like we just like social media is both the problem but it's also the solution to everything, like in terms of sharing ideas. Everyone, whether it's YouTube, Snapchat, Insta, everything, like it's all different platforms to reach different people. Like it is the solution.
Yeah, and I feel like, not everyone's going to be interested in everything, right? So on different platforms, you have those different, you would say, influencers or different groups of people who like different things, and those people are going to be there. Yeah, you're going to be able to pull some people into those groups, but for the most part, it's going to be a situation where the majority of the younger people who are trying to find themselves and find what they like and find their purpose, they're just going to be in the middle doing whatever, not necessarily caring. The opposite of yourself, right? Where you already know kind of what you want to do, and well, not kind of what you want to do. And it's hard to find, younger kids that were like, when I was 18, all I thought was basketball. I didn't care about anything else. Right? I thought about basketball. At that point, partying, 18. I really didn't drink too much, but NBA was the only thing on my mind, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I feel like, it's a bit of age. You're dealing with an age element, and then also a new technology element, where now, there's never been a time like it is today. Like people literally spend 24 hours on social media.
Yeah, it's fucked. And like the thing is, like I was like finding myself like seeing like myself kind of being like brought in, like being surrounded. When I go on Instagram, it used to be like a negative thing. When I used to go on Snapchat, it used to be a negative thing because I would be like just sending pictures back and forth to people that I didn't even talk to in real life. But like now, like I've gone through my Instagram, people I follow. I've like I just unfollow people that I don't know, because why the hell would I follow them? Like I just follow people in like accounts that I actually like. I like the things in my feed, so like I actually enjoy going on Instagram, not to the point where it's like unhealthy addiction, but I'll go on there and like check out some stuff for a little bit. But it's good stuff, like it's positive stuff. And like Snapchat for me, I've always looked at it as like the communication tool for my generation. So like I just kind of have to keep it for that. But yeah, no, it's definitely a choice on whether you want to make it a healthy thing or an unhealthy thing.
Of course, it's all about creating your environment, right? That's why they say, read books, because the books that you're reading, those authors are your best friends at that point. Those are the people that are going to influence your life, your perception of life, or podcasts or whatever it is, knowledge. Or you can create your Instagram feed as to where it's just a constant flow of knowledge that you want. So you can curate it and make sure that you can only see things you want to see and things that are going to help you mentally, physically, financially, I don't know, love life, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about, you, because basically, you don't have to just follow anybody. Like you said, like you went to your friends list. You don't have to follow anybody. You can filter out people. You can just stop following people and then only follow 5 people. And those 5 people could be, I don't know, Jeff Bezos, Malcolm Gladwell, Robert Kiyosaki. It can be just 5, whoever is your most influential people. And
Yeah.
you're just seeing new stuff all day. And, that's what I did. I started from a lot of, like, back when, like, 2017, I was like, forget that. I want to be tunnel vision. I only want to see what I want to see. But then there's a drawback to that also, because only seeing what you want to see is not gonna provide you that opposing view.
And that's not
So
real. That's not real life. Like,
there
real
you
life
go.
is occasionally seeing shit that you don't necessarily want to see or doing things that you don't want to do.
There you go. And but the thing is that you don't always have to do that. You can go through phases where 5 months or 6 months stretch, you only see what you want, and then now include opposing views. So you can kind of take control of what you're being exposed to, and that's what I love about it. I actually love it because I don't care much about social media. I'm on it because I know I have an impact, but I never show my life. I'm never going to show people what I do and what I live. Like, I'll show people CMOS, but I rarely talk about my app, right? Like, I don't show people, like, my dog. Like, I have a beautiful dog. Like, I don't show them that. Like, I won't show them anything because
What
I
kind of dog
dictate
do you have?
a boxer.
Boxing? How old?
Boxer.
Boxer. Okay.
Yeah.
¿Cuántos años tiene?
What's up?
How old?
Oh, ¿cuántos años tiene? Oh, that's what you said in Spanish. He's 5 years old tomorrow.
5?
Yeah, 5 years. We'll have a birthday for him. I'll have a birthday for him tomorrow.
Little Thanksgiving birthday.
Yeah, you know me. I love my dog. My dog's my baby. I've had him for 5 years, so it's like, I'm gonna have a birthday. I'm gonna have fun. I don't have to share it on social media.
Yeah.
I don't have to. Yeah, people don't have to know that. But my life is still being lived outside of social media.
Yeah. So what was the process like with, like, because I'm sure one of the most common questions that people ask you is, like, what was it like trying out for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh man, the Jacksonville Jaguars situation. I would say it was a blend of nepotism and good networking on my part and athleticism. Because I had never played. I only played football 1 year my whole life, and that was my freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And it was DN, like, it wasn't even wide receiver.
Were you trying out for wide receiver?
Tight end.
Okay.
So what happened was, I used to be very athletic. I'm probably still athletic. Like, I haven't really tested it.
No, you're athletic. You're athletic.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But back in the day, I used to be very, like, extremely athletic. Like, jumping from the free throw line, like, doing a lot of, like, head at the rim and stuff, like, when I jump. And I was able to be big, like 240, move and be that fast, and play basketball overseas. And overseas is a little bit different. Overseas, you're banging up your knees all day because you got 2 practices per day. It's not like in high school
Basketball
or
you're talking about, right?
one 3-hour practice and then film, weights. No, you're on the court minimum 4 to 5 hours, and it hurts, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is too much. Plus, I'm dealing with my sickle cell situation. I wasn't completely on top of it. I was progressing in that area, but I have connections with the NFL, like multiple connections. Like, I have cousins that, like, 2-3 cousins play in the NFL. Family friends play in the NFL. Like a lot of stuff. So one of the friends of the family, who was a running back for the Tampa Bay Bucks, his name's Ernest Graham. He actually saw me. He was like, "Man, you're athletic, man. I think I can get you out there playing football." He was like, "Would you come back to the U.S.? I want to get you out there."
Playing at that point?
In Spain, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ernest was like, "Hey, listen, you come back, let's meet up." Met up. he didn't know how well I could catch because I could catch really well. That I'm an alley-oop guy. He's on the alley-oop, I catch it, dunk it, all that. So he was like, I'm gonna get you a contract. and then he made a few calls, got in contact with the owner for the Jags. But I also knew the owner of the Jags through my high school AAU coach. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was like I had multiple connections with these people. So it was like they looked at my highlights and they was like, "Oh, this kid? Of course, yeah, we're gonna bring him in." But they didn't know how old I was. They thought I was like 21, 22. I was 24 at the time.
Okay.
And for somebody who had never played, being 24 in the NFL is almost like ancient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they want you at 21, 22. They don't want you at 24, 25.
Yeah. They want to develop you. Yeah.
There you go. And it was the Jacksonville Jaguars. It wasn't like it was the New England Patriots,
Right.
where I have to sit behind Gronkowski, where they know for sure I'm not going to play, and they know for sure the next guy. So they didn't want to invest in that aspect. They didn't want to develop me and put money into me. So I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is. But while I was practicing, I'm catching one-handed passes. I'm signing autographs. I have the big crowd going nuts. Right?
And you were huge, right? You tried out for tight end?
Yeah, tight end.
Okay. Were you like what did you weigh then, and how tall were you?
I'm 6'5.5" with shoes off. So 6'5.5". I was 240 pounds then.
So you were a pretty good size for a tight end at that point, right?
Oh yeah. And the thing is that I was 240 at that time, with area to put on a lot more weight, right? Because I was thinner up top than I was at the bottom. Like my ass, my legs, all that stuff was big, but my up top was a little bit. It could use some work. I was defined and cut. I could have 15, 20 more pounds within that next year. But no, it is what it is. Like, it was a great situation. It was a great experience, for me, because I had never been in a professional setting like that, where these guys are pampered and they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about anything. All they have to do is come in and put in effort. That's it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about, hey, what am I gonna eat today, or what about this today? Like, everything's taken care of. Like, you're just on autopilot until it's time to perform.
Yeah. Who was the quarterback? Was it Bortles at that point, or?
No, Bortles came. It was Gabbert, Blaine Gabbert.
Okay.
Blaine Gabbert, and I forget the other guy's name, but I remember Gabbert. And I think my first pass was from Gabbert. When he threw it. No, really though. Listen, let me explain this to you. Catching a ball from an NFL quarterback is like catching a rock, a hot lava rock. Like, it burns. When it hits your hand, it hurts. Like it's almost like you're like, oh, it's like with the gloves on too. It's not like I'm catching.
Yo, can you hear me? Oh, you're on mute. You got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, you're good.
So when it hits your hand, it's like a hot rock, right? You got to drop it. I didn't drop it though. I dropped I caught all but one pass. But and as it's coming to you, it sounds like a train. You know how the Nerf ball sounds? Like, it makes that whistle.
Yeah.
The ball sounds like boom. It has a sound behind it. It's like, oh my God, these guys, like,
Because they're talking about like spin rate and stuff, and that goes for like baseball too. It's the same thing. Like I didn't know that you could like affect like your hand and the way that you throw can affect like the spin rate of the ball that much. Like that's what you're saying. It's crazy.
dude, before I caught a pass from these guys, I had never caught a pass from a college quarterback.
Yeah, so for you especially, it was just like, what the hell?
Yeah, the first time I caught there was no in between. It was hey, never not playing to the big show, the big league. It
Yeah.
was like, and I held my own. Like I was pretty good. I just didn't know how to run routes really well. I didn't know how to block.
Okay,
You
because
know,
you said that you caught every pass, but it was more so kind of like the fundamentals that like weren't really there at that time. Yeah.
that's it. That's it. Like I had no
They've been
fundamentals, which
playing since like fifth grade. They played since like fifth. I mean, I started fifth grade, played fifth and sixth grade. You play fifth through college. Like that's a lot of experience that you didn't have.
but the thing was is that I had raw talent that these guys didn't have. Like I could jump higher than most of these guys and run faster than most of these guys. And the thing was that they had so many years of development
Right.
that it wouldn't have been fair to everybody else to be like, okay, well, this guy isn't Megatron or he isn't Gronkowski or Jeremy Shockey or something like that. So, we're not gonna put him over you guys.
Well, you think
So,
if you were 21, like they would have taken a chance?
100%.
Yeah, that sucks because it's literally 2-3 years, right? Like, how old are you
Yeah,
now?
and yeah. No, they told me that. That's exactly what Coach Gus told me.
Okay.
Gus was like, he was like, Lance, had you come 2 years earlier, you wouldn't be going back home right now. Like you would be here. And they were like, they extended the tryout. They was like, okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have you come back next year. We want to see you develop more. So you know what that means? That means we want to see you play Canadian football or arena football.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna tear apart my body for 20 grand. Like I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like no, but I appreciate it. That offer was still on the table. I
Well,
loved
you
it.
could have. You
But
could be an NFL player. How old are you right now?
32,
Okay, so
about to be 32.
you could have had probably 6 years in the NFL if you had actually done that year in like Canadian football or something. But I mean, you have no
No,
regret. You have no regret.
no
No.
regret at all. No regret at all. Not at all. I'm good. And then plus that movie, the CTE came out. I
Yeah.
was like, no, I'm
Fuck that.
good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm good. I was like, I love my brain.
Okay. So 24, cut from the Jags. Then what?
Then I get married like a year and a half after that. Then
Were
I
you living in
stopped.
Miami?
No, I got married in Tampa. I lived in Tampa at this point.
Okay, so you've
Tampa.
been all around Florida.
Yeah, basically. From there, stopped playing sports, because I had the sickle cell situation. And I didn't quite conquer it. Like I knew like the science behind it, but I didn't apply it in a natural sense.
Wait, so yeah, like
It's
I have a general idea, but can you explain like the sickle cell trait? That's what you had, right?
yeah. And sickle cell trait is basically nature's selection for malaria, right? It's like nature selected people in Norway to have very pale skin, just like how it's selected for people near the equator to have very dark skin. Well, nature selected for people that lived in places with malaria, mosquito-carrying malaria, to have sickle cell trait to survive that bite. So I'm immune 60% if I get bitten by a mosquito-carrying malaria.
But there's the like obvious negative like implications of that. So is that what you were starting to like what are the negative parts of sickle cell?
So the negative part is basically so that environment of where sickle cell was created basically, or nature selected it, it's a tropical climate. Once you leave a tropical climate, now you have issues because near the tropics is where you have the most potential for nitric oxide via the UVA rays, so via the sunlight and nitrates, right? So you have the highest potential for nitric oxide there. Vitamin D is an indicator for good health.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're low on vitamin D, which means that comes from the light also, and then also some animals, if you're low on vitamin D, well then you're going to be sick more often and your body's not going to work. You're not going to be able to absorb calcium. Calcium is one of the electrolytes that your body needs. one of the main minerals, one of the 16 essential minerals. And the reason why I say that is because, if you have dark skin, you live outside of the tropics, and outside of the summer months, it's going to be harder for you to get vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whereas if right now, if you were to go outside right here in Florida, in Miami, if you were to go outside midday from 10 to 2 for 30, 35 minutes, you're good. You probably have about 2,000 to 3,000 international units of vitamin D. Me, I would have to sit out there like 4.5 to 6 times longer than you to get the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
So now I run a situation where, my body's not in a place where it was genetically designed to be in, right? Not saying that I can't live here. It's just that I would have to know while I'm here, what are the things I should be doing? So just in that, like foods like watermelon. Watermelon grows year round in Jamaica, or places like near the tropics that has citrulline. Citrulline dilates your veins that creates nitric oxide as well.
So is that kind of what got you all started on, like, I guess, like, spreading your word about, eating natural healing, people needing to be healthier? And obviously I love your content that you're putting out, like these days with COVID and stuff. Like, these people, like most people, are more worried about like wearing a mask than they are about like eating the good food. Like, they're gonna go to McDonald's and eat a mask, and you're like laughing, but it's so obvious. Like, it's happening all around us. Like, it's literally everyone, like.
Yeah. So that's the element also, right? Because once you really understand the key player in our health is our consumption. That means via mouth or via skin. We're consuming light all day, right? We're consuming food. We're consuming minerals all day. But on top of that, our foods are laced with certain things like pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, steroids, GMO meat that people are eating because the meat just ate GMO seeds. So there's a lot of issues. Like, there's a lot of things that we're eating that we're not necessarily knowing what we're eating. And plus, a lot of like the chickens and stuff, like they don't get to go outside, so they're vitamin D deficient as well. They're sick as well, right? So for me, once I understood the villain, what the actual villain is, it's our food. I was like, okay, now let me use this food to be the hero. Let me use the food to save the day. And that's what started me on that process. I almost died twice from sickle cell trait in college. My freshman and sophomore year, I almost lost my kidneys twice. And from that point on, it was always me having it in the back of my mind, me learning a little bit. But once I separated from the game, back when I got cut from the Jaguars, once I separated, got like 5-6 years to think about it and really dive into it, then I figured it out. I was like, okay, it's the food, it's genetics, it's how you live, how much light you should consume. It's all started to make sense after that. So now I just put out the message just to understand. Hey, listen, understand your surroundings, understand what's in the food. You can eat whatever you want to, but just know when you smoke a cigarette, you got to know that there's a potential for you to get cancer. But no one smokes a cigarette without knowing, the cons of smoking a cigarette. But everyone eats food today. Well, like 99% of the people eat food today and not know the consequences of what's inside of their food.
Mm-hmm.
And that's alarming. That's scary. That's extremely scary.
And you're not even seeing the worst of it down in Miami at all. Like, this is like, you get up here, and I get to the airport and I'm like, Jesus, how many fat people are that? Like, it's like Miami is a very healthy city. Florida in general, I think is more, okay, maybe not like as healthy as it should be, but at least relative to like other states, definitely. I think like especially in the north, when like you guys are blessed, and this is why I actually came down. One of the reasons is so like to be able to be outside year round and to be able to get sun year round. Like, that's not the case here. And like, to go along with that, people get cramped up in their house and they feel like it's okay to, you know, the whole lifestyle is just completely different. It's basically like hibernating. If you were to relate it to animals, it's, you know, you sit down, you watch your TV show, and you eat a big ass meal. And that's like, that's like the worst thing that you could possibly do for yourself.
Yeah, that's the environment though, right? You
Right.
know, the environment causes for you to do certain things because the environment determines behavior. It determines, you know, how you should move. So then also, you know, it is what it is. Out here, it's a fashion show, or it's I almost say it's a fashion show. It's more of a like a I would say like not a bodybuilding contest, but it's like a bikini model contest one day, or
Very
you
status oriented.
yeah. So you have to look good because down here, if you don't look good physically, you know, even people who are not necessarily deeply involved into the flesh, they'll be like, oh, well, that's an indicator of good health, or that's an indicator of good fortune. So it's almost like if you're unhealthy, you live in Miami, hell is wrong with you?
But that's like,
You don't
that's
understand how this works.
under, like, it sounds kind of like it sounds weird or it sounds bad, but at the same time, like, it's almost like I'd rather have that than the way it is here. You know, it's like it might be a little bit negative, but at the same time, it's like underlying, it's like it's promoting, you know, healthiness and
There's positive and negative and positive. So it just depends on, you know, the end result. You know, is it a wash, or is it a +1 or a -1? All right, because no matter what we do in this world, you, you can't be purely outside of vanity. Like like there's no success there. You know what I mean? If you don't indulge a little bit into it. And I've been up and down with that. Right? It's, you know, I've wanted to separate, but if you separate too far away from the game, I would call it the game because you have to play the game, right? If you separate too far away from the game, well, now you're an outcast, now you're homeless, now you're weird, now you're strange. So you have to give off that appearance that, hey, I'm just like you, but in the back, like, oh, I'm glad it's nighttime, so I have to put on that act anymore, because it's almost like you got to put on that act until you win the game, until you get what you want. Like me, I want to live off grid. I want to have a village. I want to help people and have people come there because I want to provide a different lifestyle or a different understanding of life. But how can I do that in a game where I must play in order to win? But if I don't play, then
well, I
how
think
the
you're
hell?
doing it right now. I think you're
Yeah.
doing it through like a lot of the messages that you're spreading through social media. But like, it's funny. I think I was looking at the comments on one of your posts, and some dude was like, "Should I go buy a cheeseburger from McDonald's right now?" Question mark.
Do what you want, man. Do as you please. I'm not dictating you.
But
You
it
got
was
something
like
to do.
right after you.
I'm not with
It
that.
was just funny. It was like right after you posted that thing about like processed meats, like taking the processed meats out the cart. Like I commented, I'm like, hell no, because it's like, yes, I know it is everyone's own. At the end of the day, that's the thing too. Like, you can't ever blame everything on the environment, because at the end of the day, it is everyone's personal decision. Like, I can't blame just like having, like, my family has like the fat gene. My everyone around me is like fat and slow and like not healthy, a lot of them around me, but like it's no blame because there's still people around me that are healthy also. So like, if there's
Yeah,
anyone in your community that did it or that is healthy, that means you can too. There
it's
doesn't even
possible.
need to be anyone. You can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, everyone wants the easy way out of life. Like, you know, I was talking to someone earlier about this today. Everyone wants the easy way out of life. Like, it's hard to swim against the current. You know, most people would rather swim with it. Would much rather fit in, which would much rather be agreeable. But if I agree with you with something that's wrong, just so that I don't piss you off, or you may reconsider our friendships, am I really your friend?
It's not true. It's just not.
I'm not your friend at that point.
You're not being. Yeah. If you're. It's again. I think that's so obvious. Like especially in in college, like it's just so obvious to me. Like you said, kind of the game, the matrix that we're all in is like, you know, we were put in prison from the age 5 in school in kindergarten through grade 12, and then you get another 4 years of prison, a little bit less prison like, but it's even if it's not physical, it's like the matrix. It's like the same thing. It's like I was on LinkedIn and I was getting all these requests because there's an assignment in my management class to like make a LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, I did that 3 years ago, but anyway, like I have like 30 requests. Guess they're all finance major at University of Miami, finance major, University of Miami, finance major. Come on, like you're doing these things because you feel like it is the right thing to do right now for your life. But is that really the case, or is it because you're doing what your parents want you to do, or you're doing what all the other, you know, frat dudes at U Miami are doing? That's a scary thing.
But there's an element of, you know, even a lot of what I say is going to sound contradictory because there's an element of fit in. You got to fit in just a little bit where you don't seem weird, right? Where, you know, like imagine being at a comedy show and you're the only one not laughing. What is wrong with you? Imagine, you know, see what I'm saying? Like imagine being somewhere and be the one that things doesn't affect you, and they're gonna look at you like, what in the world? Well, how many opportunities you gonna have? You know, who's gonna introduce you to their friend who's gonna be that guy to help you, to collaborate with you to do whatever job? Like, because in between people who you may think that are lost, there's a person that is found, right? And or that it's war or whatever you want to call it. So we have to go to those people who are lost to introduce us to those people who are, you know, who we're gonna connect with, who we're gonna have, who's gonna have substance that, you know, you agree with or you can push forward.
But isn't it better to have a few? Isn't it better to have a few people around you that are more like? I don't want to go there because I know your answer, but like, isn't it better just to have, you know, a few really close friends? And like for example, again, like I'm learning all this in action right now. Like I come back here and I've changed a lot over the past 3 months to the point where instead of just literally every night like partying like I did all summer, like now I want to like every night and every day work and then party 1 or 2 nights a week, which is completely different. But like being able to like stay true to the shit that I've been doing the last 3 months in Miami is gonna help me find out who like my real friends are, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But keep in mind, you know, we all have those family members who play their role. So, you know, you'll have your friends that'll play that role, and they can be associates. They don't have to be friends. They don't have to be, you know, close people who you could find in. Like you could, like I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of people I speak to. I have a lot of people, you know, who are not like me. You know, I don't cast them to the side or like and shun them. Okay, you know, cool. You know, we're still cordial with them. But the people who I can really sit down, like yourself, who I can really sit down and have a real, legit conversation, or that I'm going to waste my time, or I wouldn't even call it waste my time, invest my time in someone like you instead of time in something like that. Yeah, I'll give them 5 minutes, where I'll give you an hour, I'll give you 2 hours, and give that person 10 minutes. Because I know there's some energy that's going to be exchanged, and I'm going to get my return on my investment.
And I don't even think it's just you giving me an hour. I think it's you giving
us,
but also eventually everyone, because this is going up on Spotify and YouTube. And not to say that I'm getting a shit ton of views, because I'm not. I'm getting like 20 views a video, but like it's gonna get there.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Talent, when it's undeniable, is undeniable. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll find you.
But
so
it is.
They're like, this kid's 18 and he's actually searching for a purpose. Oh, that's rare. you don't quite see that. You see kids who just want to be rich and buy nice things and flex and flaunt and get clout. Bro, really though, really, it's the truth though, right?
I
Why
trust me, I know.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I was like that to some degree when I was younger, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, what is this for? Just to get girls?
Well, girls
Yeah.
end up being a waste of time at the end of the day anyway.
Well, hey,
Not
listen.
all the time, not all the time, not all the time, not all the time.
I'm not gonna run down that path.
I know.
I feel like there are there's girls that are out there for a purpose also.
Yeah,
And typically the reason why those people don't meet is because it's harder to find those people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure there's like 2 or 3 girls at your college that's on the same path as you, but you would never see them because they're in their path. They're focused on their path. It's like you're focused on your path.
yeah,
But if hypothetically y'all come together one day, you're like, oh snap, I really like the things that are coming out of your mouth.
yeah.
I really like your energy. I really like the way you deal with adversity. Oh wow, right? And
Yeah,
like I
just
said,
it's
not
hard to meet.
everyone's for everyone.
It's hard to like the thing that's made it hard for me and I guess a lot of kids is like, especially with COVID now, like there's just not that many opportunities to meet people. Like everyone goes to like Pub 52 in Coral Gables, like literally all the freshmen go there. I went there once and I'm like, this is like corny as hell. Like I don't want to be here. And like also like I'm not gonna like that's just like the mainstream thing to do. Like these kids are going there because because other kids are going there. Like I'm not gonna meet the like the guy friends or girlfriends there, because they're not thinking on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah, but at some point, they're it's almost like a salesman. There's an agreeableness that you have to have about yourself. When people are like, oh, he's cool, right? It's like a salesman. If I sell somebody something, like I have to show them themselves inside of what I'm giving them, or how
Yeah.
it can benefit them. If I appear too high, or like I'm better than, and they're less than, or we're not on the same frequency, and you're gonna push people away.
Especially if your overall goal is to like help people or impact people, like you got to be able to talk. I mean, it's interesting too, because like Danny Rodriguez, I don't know if you've heard it. Like he has a YouTube channel. It's like It's Danny, and basically he does like he's a senior at the U, and he's the only one. If you look up U Miami, like any video, like he has like all the videos. I think he has like 14,000 subscribers. Everyone on campus knows who he is. And I sat down with him at lunch. I had lunch with him one day, and we're actually gonna do a podcast on Friday, I think. But some kid just came up to him and he was like, yo, it's Danny. Like, yo, what's up? You holding it down, man? And he's like, yeah, man. Like how you doing? Like, and then the kid leaves and Danny goes, you know that kid? I'm like, no, do you? He's like, no. I'm like, I feel like if someone came up to me that I didn't know, I'd be like, who? Because
Nah, yeah. See, yeah. Whenever, and I think you're gonna run this course. You're gonna meet a certain amount of fame where people are gonna know you. You're not gonna know them, and you just have to be like, hey man, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh yeah, you have a little cordial conversation. Oh man, I hope everything's good, right? You have a good day, X, Y, Z. You may not know them, or you just say, hey man, what's your name? Oh okay, nice meeting you. I hope everything's good. So instead of treating him like he's like nobody or like he's like a weird guy, treat him as like he's family, right? Because
yeah.
you don't know that person.
And it's not even like I totally agree with what you're saying, but it's not even like it's like nobody. It's like I'm literally, yeah. It's like I'm literally being honest, like I just don't know who you are. But yeah, I agree. Like there's at some point, yeah. But like I'm not that's the other thing. What is the point? What is that point? Like because
it's now. It's once you notice it. That's it. Once you notice it.
Okay.
It's like being out with someone, and you guys are out eating, and the waitress comes by, or the waiter comes by, and they do something wrong, or they just make a small minor mistake, and then the person you're with tells them off. Oh, this dumbass, whatever. And it's like, damn, well, I never want to act like that. You know, I'm not a bad person like that. That person just probably having a bad day. They made one mistake, but it's not enough to go off on them. So now when you sit in front of a waiter and they do something, just one minor mistake, you're like, oh, well, I understand. You know, it's just putting yourself in a situation where you not necessarily are in that situation, but you can live vicariously through someone else and kind of say, oh, I would do that different. You know, a lot of NFL guys, believe it or not, or NFL, NBA guys, or celebrities in general, go through this. They can't eat out by themselves with their family. You know how many people are walking up to them and acting like their family? It's like, oh, I've known you for 20 years. It's like, okay.
You've been watching me on TV for 20 years.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's the way life works now. Like, social media, we give people so much of us to people think that, hey, I know you now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why people walk up to you. Like, you're going to get it pretty soon. Don't worry. Like, it's coming really fast. You're going to be like, oh, Lance told me about this. But you're going to get it. But people are just going to come to you and be like, hey, bro, what's up, bro? You're like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, nice to meet you, bro. What's your name? You go to school here? Or you eat here at this restaurant? Oh, okay, good. What do you like? Boom. Okay, all right, guys. See you later.
Because
you know
in reality, you just got to forget about, like, you just got to look at it like, forget about any business, forget about any followers on social media, forget about all that. Just look at it like, I'm still, at the end of the day, I'm just another student here at the university. I'm just another human, like, forever. Like,
that's it, man. You got growing to do, but that's the beauty, though. The beauty is the growing. You know, you never the journey. You never really have a destiny. You know, the destiny is eternal life, right? Which means eternal life is a continuous journey. So you're never gonna stop. You're gonna keep going.
So what does your future look like for now? For what you
my
want?
future, what I want, I want to continue on the pace that I'm going at right now. I've hit a little bit of a stride. Got a few things going on the background. Yeah, you know, I have the herbs, you know, the sarsaparilla, hoovervane, nettle, sea moss, all that stuff. You know, that's my gift back to the world. Hey, listen, here are some of the most powerful herbs in the world that I'm introducing you to. You know, like, take heed.
I got it. I just had the sea moss in my shake.
I see you there. You know, that's my give back, you know, based on a lot of knowledge, because, you know, you can have knowledge, but if you don't have anything to offer people to benefit them in the short term, they're not gonna really listen to you. You know, I can talk my head off, but no one will listen to you unless there's like some reward behind it. It's like a reward system. Like, you know, I have a dog and I give him a treat after he does a treat. And that's how people are. That's how I am. That's how you are. You know, the reward system works better than the punishment system or anything. So once you give somebody something, you provide them something that is going to benefit them, they know, they'll say, oh, okay, let me listen to you for 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll consider that. But if you're just like, hey, change this and do that, you're like, not my mom.
Yeah.
Get out of here. What are you talking about?
So,
but no, the rest of my life, though, you know, I'm gonna be a servant for the rest of my life. I'm gonna serve people for the rest of my life. That's my ultimate goal. I want to lead people into a better physical health that will lead them to a better mental health. Because if you're physically sick, you're mentally sick. They go hand in hand. And if you're both, you're not tapping into the spiritual at any point. So I just want to free up the body so I can free up the mind.
Have you thought about doing like public speaking and stuff? Obviously, once COVID settles down, or YouTube. Like, I feel like you could go off on YouTube if you start that YouTube channel. You just start posting little like, I'm not kidding, I'm not kidding. Seriously, like you're talking about like reaching people, but you can reach so many more people. Like use it. Like, use your own medicine. Like you're saying social media is the answer, then use it.
Oh no, I'm using it. I'm just slow. You know, believe it or not, I'm an introverted extrovert. Yeah, I'll become an extrovert later in my life. I know how to deal with it. But I have a YouTube that's growing at a steady pace. Not putting a lot of effort into it. I have a Patreon that I'm about to start getting going.
I
Now
don't
that
even
release
know
about.
what that is. What is that?
Well, Patreon is a situation where
I've heard of
it's
it.
like it's like a patron. Like, you know, patrons, people pay for you to do your craft. It's almost like, you know, if I'm an entertainer, you pay me $1, I tell a joke or whatever, a comedian. So basically, to make videos, you know, you have people subscribe to your channel. So, you know, if you want to subscribe to my channel, you know, it's $10 per month. I release 4 videos every month, once every week.
Oh, so
Um,
it's like a fans only for like actual content.
yeah, I think this was around way before fans only though. But you're right. You're right though. It's absolutely. And then on top of that, you know, you can you know, scale it however you want to. You know, like that's the first package. The second package is you get to see early videos. So, you know, if there's 4 videos a month, you know, you get to see the previous week also. Or the third package, and you get to have one-on-one conversations, right, where you have your Zoom call or whatnot. But you know, everyone's asked me to do it. Um, I have enough knowledge and enough material to do it. You know, I had something like this earlier, but I'm going to get back into it because I feel like right now, for people to understand how their body works and where they're at, also the environment, I feel like it's something that's needed. Just to understand a little bit, just to get people down that track. Because once I ask you a question and that light bulb turns on, I have no idea what you're gonna learn after that. Like, you're gonna teach yourself some crazy stuff and come back and tell me.
That's
And I've
what
had a lot
I
of
planted.
people have conversations. What do you think?
I've been using your phrase like I'll plant the seed, but it's up to you if you want to water it. Like I've been, you know, like I've been using that here a little bit. Like I'm trying to help my friends. I'm trying to help the people around me. I'm gonna tell you what I think works, what I think might help you. But like at the end of the day, it's up to you.
It's up to you.
You do it if, as Kevin Hart said in this recent Breakfast Club interview, if you do it, dope. If you don't, dope.
Don't. But the thing is, you know, planting that seed. It's I feel like never underestimate it because of the effect that it has. And the person may not buy into it immediately, a week or two, or a year or two, 10 years down the line, but when they have a kid, they're like, oh my God, I heard about this somewhere. Won't remember that it's you, but will know that, hey, this knowledge has been presented to me before. Now let me now encounter this with understanding that I must change this, or I must understand it the right way, or this is obsolete knowledge. I need to get rid of that and replace it with knowledge. Uh, with knowledge that should supersede this. So, yeah, man, it's
The never-ending process.
never ending. It's just goes.
Well,
It goes.
maybe this podcast video might be some possibly good content for your YouTube. I'm gonna email you the video link. You do it if you want. I'll email it to you because I don't know, man. Long form content is something that is pretty rare nowadays. Like, I mean, if that's true, I watch so much Joe Rogan just because of like he has like these different guests on. Like I was watching like a 3-hour interview of John Mackey, the Whole Foods founder. Like there is so much to learn. Like people spend hundreds of dollars for like business seminars and shit when you could just watch that and learn already like more. It's all in front of us.
Man, knowledge is so free now. it is so free and so unwanted that people would much rather pay for it. It's like, no, no, no. How much does it cost? It's free. No, I'll give you $100. Now I'll listen to you. Like what? Like really though, like people, because once you put a premium on something, now it's in our minds, we believe, hey, now it's worth something. So now I should listen because I paid for it. But if it's free, oh, I'm not gonna pay for that. Well, I'm not gonna listen to that. It's free. No, no, no. First, you can turn around and go put $100 price on it, and then it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Because
Dude,
that's
it was
like
just
all
free
we know.
yesterday.
That's all, like, especially my generation, that's all we know. Like we grew up with the phones, we grew up with the iPads and shit. So like we've always been able to just look up whatever we need to look up. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's different for you and I guess people that didn't necessarily like grow up with the internet in our hands. It's completely different.
You're absolutely right. I never thought about that. I think my generation is more so into, does it come with a cost? Does it cost something? Is there a price on it? It's like, no, it's free, man. Go get it. Download it. It's there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing greater than like getting my grandpa to like download Spotify or something, like, because it's like or YouTube or getting anyone that has never used these platforms. It's like all the knowledge, all the music, all the anything, all the information in the world is like right here. Like you can learn whatever you want on YouTube, anything. And probably in a better way than spending the $22,000 a semester at UMiami. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, but that's not what it's for.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I used to talk a lot of crap about college, but college will introduce you to some interesting stuff. You'd be like, why do I need this? And then later in life, you're like, damn, I understand that because I took a class in poly and psych, and oh wow, I get it. But if you never really I'm not gonna,
We wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now if I didn't go to college. So
exactly. Yeah, it expands your network, but I'm telling you, man, I've taken some classes. I'm like, hey, this is stupid. Then I get out of school, I'm like, oh shit, I guess I do understand that.
where did you go?
My first school was Virginia Commonwealth University. Second school was Eckerd College. So I took the majority of my
right out of high school or what?
I went straight to VCU out of high school.
Okay. What was like the environment like? Like what was it like? I guess what was it like your freshman year of college coming right out of high school? Like
Oh, it was different. It was night and day. It was like everyone had autonomy to do whatever they wanted to. Like what? Like these kids just go to school and go home and party and do whatever? What? They don't have parents? No, you can do whatever you want to. You stay up all night, whatever. Just make sure you make it to class. And if you want to drop out, drop out. Hey, it is what it is. You just wasted money, but you're an adult. It's like a purgatory adult stage. I was like, what?
yeah, it's whack. It's trippy.
This is wild. Like, it's like, there's no structure. You create your own structure. What?
so accurate. But it's so good at the same time. It's like everyone is like to the point where like when you get to be 17, for me it was like 15, but like 17, 18 years old, like you do not want to spend another day like in your house, like doing school. Like you want to be doing what you actually want to do and like making your own schedule.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about college, because I think it's one of the best purgatory stages as to allowing you to see a glimpse of adulthood and adapting before you actually thrust it into adulthood. So, I'm not going to talk so much crap about it. Yes, it's expensive. It's overpriced. Yes, everyone should be able to dictate what they learn and have more say-so over what they learn. Like me, I wish I would have learned other things than, just, let me not say that, bro, because I had every opportunity to do whatever. It's just that, when you're a child, especially playing basketball, like I was like, man, I don't want to be in school right now. Like I'm tired. I would go home and sleep, and I want to go party. I don't have time to party, and everybody else is having fun, but I'm not because I have I have to eat a mandatory breakfast. I have to mandatory weights. I have mandatory practice. I have mandatory study hall. I have mandatory film session. It's like I go to sleep at 2, wake up at 6, and do the same thing all over again.
Did it feel like shit?
Did it feel legit?
No, did it feel like shit?
Oh,
Like constantly having a mandatory schedule about every single thing that you do?
no, because it gave me that sense of like you know how people say, oh, join the military, they give you structure. It was like being in the military. It was like you have to be here at this time. You have to perform. You have to do the right thing. Boom, boom, boom. So anything I want to do now, I know I'm gonna get it done. Because
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kick into that gear.
And so you kind of developed like those habits that kind of a lot of them stuck with you in terms of like exercise, eat good, like all that, like
All of it. Well, eating good. I mean, eating good is that's subjective, but yeah, you develop habits and you develop a lot of discipline. Discipline I didn't have. I didn't grow up with a father, so I needed that discipline. I needed someone to be on top of me. At the time I hated it, but then I understood. Hey, well, in order for me to advance in life, I need someone to say, hey, this is structure. This is what you must do. I don't care how you feel, get it done. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the people who win are going to be the ones who won when they were mad that day or pissed off that day or sad that day or got cheated on that day. And they still got it done.
mm-hmm.
Those are going to be the ones that are going to win in the end, not the ones who's going to be sobbing, oh, my foot hurts, so I can't write this paper. How does that work? Your foot hurts. You can't write the paper? Okay. Oh, cool. Take some turmeric and ginger. But no, I love now looking back, for not having, what I didn't have growing up as a child. I didn't have a father. Playing college basketball is probably the best thing that ever happened to me. It taught me some discipline. It taught me social skills. It taught me teamwork. It taught me consideration, like to consider other people.
Yeah.
I'm the only child, single parent.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking
I
about maybe
was
going to the military for like a little bit, like after the military, like way down, like after Ketchup Please is sold. Like this is like just for the experience. Like I just want to do as many different things as possible, just because why not? Like because it's not gonna.
If you want to join the military, do it. But I'm pretty sure there's something else that you can find structure in. Military is just one thing. That's just one avenue, right? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things where you can find structure. And I'm not against the military. Do whatever you want to. But it's all out here, man. It's like you say, it's knowledge. It's institutions you can, immerse yourself into, and it polishes who you are. You become a better product for society.
Okay, a couple more things. If you were to suggest, like how can I change, or how can I help to change, like up here, like in terms of food, in terms of health, in terms of energy, in terms of motivation, in terms of like wanting to actually do shit with their lives?
That's $1 million question. If I had $1 million, no, I'm joking. No, it really is $1 million question. $1 billion, $1 trillion question. Because the health industry is like $1 trillion industry. There's lots of money being spent into false information. I feel like the majority of us, we suffer from lack of knowledge. And we expect for the government to teach us, the schools to teach us. Impossible. If I taught you how to be healthy and never be sick, then why would you need a doctor? to check your blood pressure and get thousands of dollars just for checking your blood pressure.
You wouldn't.
Right? Like it would be a conflict of interest. And I'm not trying to say the government's all bad, but there's part of the government is just horrible, or part of our society is just
Well, and
horrible.
like pharmaceutical companies are obviously gonna like try to lobby with the government and like try to like, because that's literally their business relies and their revenue relies upon them selling pills, when like that's just not the truth.
And you know what happens when you step in between a man and his money, right? it just is what it is. And yeah, you can fight. Me personally, the way that I think is best for me is to amass a great amount of wealth, because people respond to wealth.
Mm-hmm.
If Jeff Bezos said, hey, I eat this every morning, you know how many people are going to start eating that every morning?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to amass a lot of wealth or be associated with a lot of wealth, because me personally, I don't want people to know if I have money or not. I want to look homeless and poor all the time, so everyone treats me exactly how they would treat a poor person. But amass a lot of wealth or influence.
Yeah.
Understand, hey, listen, there's another way. Listen, you can do what you do, but this is scientifically proven to get this done. Oh yeah, but my food is in this. Well, there's ways where you can manipulate it. Oh, but then again, it takes time. It takes time to learn, to unlearn. So it's like,
and then you start to realize, and then once you start to do like you do it right, like I just keep thinking this, just do it right, like do life right. Like doing life right takes time. Everything that is done right just takes time. Like with my landscaping, like I've learned this through a bunch of different things, like landscaping every single day. Like I got this quote from my uncle, we're not the cheapest, we're not the fastest, we're just the best, because we're just like, we take our time, but we're going to make it the best. Everything, the best things in life, take time, and patience is everything. And that goes right back to health. Like you realize that, yes, you may, you might have to take more time to chop up that salad. You may have to take more time to make that smoothie every morning, but it's hell of a lot better than dying 10 years earlier than you need to.
Yeah, but keep in mind, man, there's so much entertainment that people would much rather spend their time on earth being entertained and laugh and feel good.
Yeah,
and eat whatever and not think about it. They want to live in bliss, right? A peaceful bliss. Well, I don't call it peaceful. So you're telling people who want to, they don't care. They're like, no, I just want to be happy. I want to eat whatever I want to eat because it makes me happy, and leave me alone. What are you gonna say about that? What are you gonna do? Because they're right. They have a right to be happy.
Yeah.
All right. And it's like, not everybody's gonna see. Not everybody can see. They're looking with two eyes, but they can't see with their third eye.
Yeah.
They can't see. You know what I mean? And seeing is more than visual.
Of course.
It's a feel.
Yeah.
If I tell you something and I'm drawing a picture, I'm like, hey, do you see that? Do you see what I'm saying? I didn't show you anything. I just said something. That image in your mind, now you can see it.
Yeah.
People are not willing to. They're not willing or wanting to see. And not everyone, but the majority is like, I want to sleep. I just want to be happy. I want to watch my TV. I want to eat my Snickers at night and just sit in bed and just be happy.
I've been there. I've been there, but like I've realized that doing it right, eating healthy, working on 3 businesses, doing all these things, going to a top university, it all feels so much better. It all feels so much better.
In the long run.
Yeah.
In the long run, the person who puts up with the BS now and don't delay the BS are going to be happier.
Mm-hmm.
The people who delay the BS, think you're working at Publix bagging grocery, you're not saying that it's bad, at 80 years old. It's like, what did you do with your time?
Mm-hmm.
I chose to be as happy as possible, and not in the best way is. the most healthy way. I just chose to be happy. I chose happiness over. I chose excitement over enlightenment, or entertainment over enlightenment. Okay,
Nothing you can do now.
what can you do? Yeah, everyone chooses their life, but you lay your eggs, you plant your seeds, and you move on. If I were you, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't get too emotional about it, because I've been there, done that. I wanted to help my whole family. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. Okay, cool. I'm not suffering from sickle cell trait anymore. How did I figure that out? I read books. I sacrificed my time. I sacrificed my entertainment. Yeah, I could have watched those videos, movies, TV, and ate popcorn and chips and all that. Cool. But I didn't, because I wanted to have a better life for myself. I don't care where I come from. I don't give two shits where I come from. How I finish this life, it's how it's gonna be. I don't care. You could put me in the bottom of the slums in India or whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna rise out of it, but not everybody wants to fight. Not everybody has that fire you have. You have a fire. No one can. You can't duplicate fire in a willpower. If everyone had willpower, everyone would
But you can
overcome.
light a match.
Yeah, everyone has that. It's some will, some won't. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I don't care about people, but not everyone has willpower.
Clearly you do. You're just being realistic in that not everyone will understand, not everyone will listen.
That
Not,
heart you have, that fire you have, man, you can't duplicate that. You can try to light it, and if it sparks, and if it becomes a flame, cool. But if you're thinking that 90% of those people are gonna have a flame, or after you spark the fire, no, bro, it's gonna fizzle out. The wind's gonna blow it away. I think it's the minority the flame will be enlightened, based on what I've done and who I've talked to. There's only a few people who really gravitate towards me and actually, try to sit down with me and conceptualize things. And, not saying that I know it all, but both of us together, we know a lot.
yeah. And we can impact a lot of people with literally just this thing we're doing.
Yeah, but that YouTube is coming, bro. That YouTube, trust me, it's.
Okay.
Listen, I'm upgrading equipment right now as we speak. My Premiere Pro is becoming top. I'm becoming nice at Premiere Pro. I'm about to buy some templates, because I don't like creating the situation, the stuff inside of the Premiere Pro, Adobe.
Okay, yeah.
I'm about to buy some templates. I'm messing around with it. Over the quarantine, I learned a lot of stuff. I became efficient in Photoshop, Premiere Pro. I got my personal training license. Just to do stuff.
I've been saying the winners right now, the losers right now are the ones that are still complaining about COVID. The winners are the ones that realized its pure opportunity is right when it hit. And they're still feeling the fruits of it now.
It was a pause moment for me, bro. It was like, oh, the rest of the world staying still. Now I can learn all this knowledge without having to be sidetracked. Oh, wow. Let's go. Let's plug in. Man, I learned so much over COVID. Man, I learned defense fighting. I learned so much, bro.
And most people still smoking weed and playing video games, just like they were in March when it hit.
I want another shutdown.
That's how much you enjoyed it. I'm not disagreeing. I don't like the people dying, but it's also to your point too, and to what you've based like a lot of your shit you do around. It needs to wake people up to what is actual health. Like, don't rely on a vaccine. Rely on the earth and yourself.
That's it. That's it. The power is in us. The choice is ours, and we have to take advantage. If not, you just squander opportunity and health and happiness, and eventually live a rough last few years of your life where your family now goes into debt because you didn't do anything to help them to ease that process. Now you have $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 bills just to keep you alive for 2 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's selfish. Why wouldn't you want to die at 100 peaceful, or die whenever you are supposed to die peaceful, instead of a long drawn out slow death where it causes more pain emotionally to the rest of your family?
Do you believe
That's selfish.
do you believe in a God or a higher power?
Of course, of course. And I'm not trying to say, of course, like trying to force you to believe in it or anybody that will listen to this video. But the reason why I say of course is because I put the pieces together to not suffer from sickle cell trait. And there's order in the world that I figured out, based on, based on genetics, based on environment, phenotypes, genotypes. Once I figured that out, I'm like, damn, whoever's behind this, they're just laughing at me. they're like, wow, you finally figured it out, because it's
And
written.
then they're laughing because like you still haven't figured most of the shit out.
Right? Right? It's like it's a perfect algorithm that I fucking love the algorithm.
Of
It's
life.
an algorithm that's already put there. And I'm like, damn, whoever laid this shit
When you
down.
say the algorithm, you just mean like the algorithm of like the world, like
Of the world. It has a rhythm, it has a song, it has a pitch, a frequency. Once you figured it out, you're like, damn, oh shit, that's a beautiful song.
do you
But
think
nobody else can hear it.
it's crazy like we're just animals at the end of the day, but then you look around us, you look at what we've built, it's obviously more than any other animal. Do you think that like we're solely products of evolution, or do you think that that higher power is more connected to us than like my dog?
No, no, no. Yeah and no, because I don't think that we're more connected to the higher power. I think we're also connected to the higher power as much as that plant, that tree, that dog, that cat. Anything that has a heartbeat, anything that has a nervous system, anything that has like a I would say a pineal gland or third eye, a receiver. But I know plants don't have it. But I know that they play their role into allowing us to connect higher, allowing the animals to connect higher. Me personally, I feel like everything that has that, every sentient being that can feel has a soul. And I'm not messing around. I'm not eating flesh. That a soul is just encapsulated in. Like, I'm good. I'm not touching it. Like, I'm not touching it. I'm going to treat it with respect. Unless a spider bites me, well then, hey, that's survival of the fittest. Like, you're gonna have to die because I'm gonna, a dog bites me, and then now I have to like strangle it, and, try not to kill it. But I'm not gonna just do something to an animal just because it's there and I don't like it. I'm not gonna go hunt and shoot a bird out the sky.
But I'm on the same page as you, but I'm gonna play the devil's advocate because it's hunting season up here in Wisconsin. We got all the deer hunters out, like ton of them. But like, I used to like my parents were pretty anti-hunting and stuff. I grew up like anti-hunting. I was like, fuck that. But now I'm like if we're really animals, like that's just natural. So like that's just like animals hunt for other animals. So like as long as you're eating the meat, that's why like I don't really have a problem with it anymore. Like it's a human, an animal hunting another animal, just like a wolf hunts a rabbit, like right?
Yeah, out of necessity, though. When a wolf hunts a rabbit, it's a necessity because a wolf is designed 100% to eat animals, right? They don't have any other food around. Now, if we were in times where, let's say that there was a true hibernation period where there's no vegetation, being imported in, yeah, you're gonna have to kill something. You understand what I'm saying? But if there's a constant import where you have fresh, you can go to the grocery store and get fresh fruit because it was frozen, delivered here from Costa Rica, or then there's a trade-off.
Yeah.
At what point do you now say, I'm over hunting because I can get my protein somewhere else? But then again, I'm no one to judge anyone. It's just the way that I want to live my life, right? Because who am I to tell somebody what they can do or what they can't eat? Right? like, I can shut up. Right? That's what I would tell me. Shut the hell up. But I want to play my role in knowing, hey, if I have a better option or option to eat whatever that can give me the same nutrients, yeah. But if I can't get those nutrients from what I'm getting, well, then I'm gonna have to eat it. Whatever I gotta eat.
So when you're talking about food, like if there's someone on here listening that like is like, okay, like I'm ready to get healthy. Like they say it. What would you recommend they do?
Legumes, grains, nuts, seeds, veggies, fruit. Right. Now fruit. Veggies, fruit.
Okay,
Chips.
yeah.
With the invention of technology, you have to get your B12, cyanocobalamin, vitamin D, sun, or pill or supplement, omega algae 3, DHA, and EPA, herbs and spices and water. Right? Because herbs are the healing of the nation.
Vegan.
That's vegan. That's 100% vegan.
My friends would ask, "How's this dude so big and he's vegan?"
Yeah, I've been vegan for 3 years. Actually, I was trying to get smaller. So it's not why I'm so big. It's almost like you haven't seen me at my biggest, my most potential. You know what I mean? While being vegan, which is coming soon because I want to maximize it just to have that wow factor. So, like I say, people only get inspired by influence. And so once I show them, hey, look at how I look. Oh, I'm buff. Oh, well, I guess I'll be vegan. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, that's the way the mind works. Our minds work that way too. I'm not talking about people in specific. I'm talking about me and you too. We see some things that's associated with success, no matter if it's vegan or whatever we consider success. We're gonna want to emulate. So why not get big if I know I can get big? Like for me, it's easy. Right? So it's partial genetics and it's partial understanding. Hey, I know how to lift weight. I'm a personal trainer. I've had a trainer since I was 11 years old. This stuff is almost like common knowledge to me. So, but no, those 12 things. I talk about it too. I have a meal plan that I give out on my website, CaptainPlanet.com, and I talk about those 12 things. And those are essential. K2 also is one of those things that you would need.
What about marijuana?
Hey, I don't smoke marijuana because I don't believe in smoking, period. The carcinogen effect of that, burning that, putting fire inside of your body or smoking inside of your body, I don't do that. If you want to drink it or eat it, I agree with that.
Okay, so it's the smoke. It's like the actual smoke. Yeah.
It's the actual smoke. It's not the weed smoke. I don't smoke. I have other stuff to relax, like blue vervain. Like that relaxes me and calms me down, focus me out. A little bit too much, man. I like being high. I like being low. I don't like being calm. I like being excited and going and running.
Do you drink at all?
No.
Ever?
No, never. I'm past that stage.
Yeah.
And anyone in that stage, I would not talk against people because in life you have to go to a stage. Like you just must go to that stage.
Can you read that?
No, pink what? What did I say? Pink?
Drink Wisconsin, Blee.
Oh, drink Wisconsin. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's so like cultural here. That's
Yeah.
it's the easiest way I can put it.
No, listen, man, to each his own, but then again, you got to know how to filter that stuff out of you. When that stuff hits your organs, livers and kidneys, whatnot,
Yeah,
it's not a good situation,
yeah,
long term. But live your life though, because you got to go through hell to see heaven. Like you got to go through some fuck ups to be great, you know what I mean, or
yeah,
better.
yeah,
Like, anybody who's been through this life and never had a fuck up, they're lying to you. That claims to be great or better, they're lying to you because you have had to fuck up.
yeah.
You have had to. Like
Pressure forms diamonds.
there it goes, right? If you're not battle tested, then you're not ready to talk to anybody. It's like, how do you know when you never felt that fire? You never been in that situation. You never felt that pain. But you're trying to tell me, okay, it's only someone who's just like, that's why people who, get PhDs and doctorates, that's why they're so well respected because they went through the fire. They went through the tens of thousands of years of school. You know what I mean? Like,
But not necessarily the actual not necessarily the actual like field of study that they're talking about, like that's just academics. So
exactly, but they're respected for the fact that they
right.
went through it in the past.
Yes.
But when it comes to actually healing people, the whole system's fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you did 20 years of some bullshit, but you did 20 years of some bullshit if you're really trying to heal people. But now if they're trying to say, hey, we're good at repairing people, gunshots and wounds and amputating legs and all that stuff, oh, you're amazing. You're the best of the best. Western medicine, you can't beat Western medicine when it comes to amputations and gunshots and stab wounds.
That goes right back to like business school. Like I don't think any entrepreneur. I'm most likely going to be not in business school. I'm probably going to. I am going to be in like the arts and sciences or whatever. Just because, why should I ever listen to somebody who hasn't done the things that I want to do? Like why? Like it.
Some of those people have though now. Be honest now.
But I could find all those people on YouTube, if not better people, for free.
You're right. but that goes back to saying, in order to get a college education, you got to pay what, on average 30-40 grand right now, a good college education per year. To start a company right now, you just need what, less than $300 for LLC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started Catch Up Please with initial 10K just from our savings, but that's like actual,
Yeah. So 10K. So now imagine, let's say on average 4 years, 30K a year. That's 120. You know how much you can do at 120 for a company with someone with the drive and the vision, with knowledge. You have but they won't give you that loan for that business, but they'll give you that loan for the school. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing.
Crazy.
People are out here paying $250,000 to go to school, but
to make
30K, 40K, 50K,
or like less than 100K a year, probably. Even that's like a lot. That's like a pretty good for out of college. Like for the rest of their life, slave and do whatever everyone else is doing. I'm just saying, I just don't want to do that. Like
teach you how to sign an application. not start a company, but sign an application and beg for a job and create resumes.
Yeah.
And put on a suit and tap dance in front of your potential employer.
You're laughing about it, but you don't see how, like, I know it's real, but like I'm seeing this every day. Like I just got, like, I had to, like, for an assignment, I had to submit like my resume. I have no actual work experience. I had Lock Lane Services, my landscaping, Catch Up Please, Dharma Unfiltered. Like I have the shit that I've actually done. The dude comments like a fuck ton of shit, and he's like, this is all the like formatting shit that you got to do. man, who am I to submit this to anyway? Like, what does this matter to me anyway at the end of the day?
Because you're ahead of the curve, man. A lot of kids your age don't notice that being self-sufficient and getting the actual hands-on knowledge of being the actual CEO, right? Being in the hot seat, that's where you get the real knowledge.
Yeah.
If you're at the bottom, you're just a button presser. You're
Mm.
just hitting buttons all day. That's all you're doing. But
Push it
you're
up into a spreadsheet all day.
that's it. That's it, right? But you know, if you were to go into it's almost like you go into an interview and you say, hey, I've done this. This is mine. I did this with my dad. I did this with my uncle. I did this with my friends. And these are our companies that we built. But now, I just want to, hop into I guess the workforce and blue collar, whatever. I want to hop into getting a job. And, they'll look down and like, oh, well, you don't have work experience. So it's like, no, I do have work experience. I have a lot of it. My whole life is my work experience. I've worked my whole entire life.
Harder,
but you don't have
harder than the ones working at obviously McDonald's and shit.
But since you didn't work at McDonald's, like, oh, well, you didn't pay your dues because you got to know what it feels like to work for people and work along to have a manager. And well, no, I was my own manager. And it's almost like they look down on people like,
man, I want to see you. I'd say to them, you come out and work with us landscape all day for 5 days a week, all summer for 4 summers. This shit that's real. Like, it's like.
they don't want that work, bro. They don't want it. They talking. But you know what? The thing is that they want you to play the game that they got set up. And because you didn't play the game and I played it, now I'm going to show you why I'm better than you, because you outsmarted the game of doing it your own way, right? Yeah. Now you didn't become a slave like I became a slave, so I don't like you. That's basically how it is. It's like, well, how did you elude not being a slave? Well, shit, I thought. I used my brain. God gave me a brain. I can go do what the hell I want to with it. Like, I don't have to appease your structure. I'm good. I don't care.
So do you believe in one specific like organized religion, or is it kind of more so like a general all the rules of the world?
I believe in God, man. I believe in love and respect and acceptance. Like I say, I respect and love everything. Like, I don't care what you are. You can be gay, straight, as long as you're not killing people or having sex with kids. Those are two things I'm not going to respect. Or, like, other than that, man, I'm good. Like, I don't care, what, what do you call it, LGBTQ, and then the new one is the P, a pseudosexual. Get out of here with that.
What,
like,
what?
I'm not.
Wait.
Yeah, the new one is the P, pseudosexual.
What does that mean?
Or it's like, is it pseudosexual or pedophilia? I think it's just pedophilia.
No way. No. They did not. That is not actual part of the LGBT thing, right?
The P is the last word, bro.
It is not pedo. No way. I do not.
Yeah, bro.
Are you positive?
Yeah, bro. Listen to me, bro. It's if you can change your gender, right? You should be able to change your age.
Yeah, but at the same time, I just don't care.
Listen, I'm not.
I mean, you said love. You said like what? You don't believe it, like transgender and stuff?
No. I don't believe in doing anything to kids. You know what I mean? I don't believe in.
Oh, you're talking about the P or whatever.
Yeah. No. You can do whatever you want to, but I'm just saying, the argument is going to be, hey, if I can change my gender, I can change my age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen.
I was watching. Have you seen the show Atlanta by like Childish Gambino directs it?
A little bit.
So there's an episode, and it was basically like I think it's called, I don't know what the episode's called, but it was basically like trolling like to like mainstream news and stuff. And one of them was like this interview with like this like 22-year-old black kid, and he was saying that he identifies as a 35-year-old white male. And it's just like, it was hilarious because it's just like trolling like what society is coming to today. Like,
That's what Dave
what,
Chappelle
this
did.
is acceptable.
That's what Dave Chappelle did when he said that he feels like he's Chinese inside. He starts acting like a Chinese.
Who said that?
Dave Chappelle.
He said that he feels Chinese inside.
Yeah, bro. Like, no, it's so funny, bro.
I love
But,
Dave Chappelle though.
yeah, because he's like, well, you know, whatever you feel inside, that's what you want. That's what he thinks. He's like, well, then I feel like I'm Chinese.
Like the heck?
Yeah, but listen, they can joke and laugh about that. You know, whatever. The thing is, whatever everyone wants to be in this lifetime, as long as they're not hurting anyone and trying to.
Bring people down.
Yeah, because they're not gay or they're not transgender or not.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I support you in being gay and transgender. Do what you do, have fun, live your life, be happy. Like, I
100.
just want people, you know what I mean? Be happy as you can possibly be. I support you. You know, if somebody messes with you, try to bully you, I'll be there to help you. You know what I mean? But I'm not that. Don't approach me that way. You know, let's have that clear understanding. And, you know, I'm not scared of anything. I don't have a phobia for anything. I'm good. I am who I am, and I am what I want to be. I accept everything, and we're gonna move forward with that. But it's the hey, you're toxic masculine. I'm toxic masculine.
I'm
Masculinity.
JT.
I'm like, what? No. I use my masculinity for protection, not for harming, not for doing damage to people.
You're you're literally just a product of your, like, you're just doing you. Like, I'm just like it's weird, you know. It's the masculinity thing's weird too, because it's like that's all I'm surrounded with up here. It's very like very very masculine. Like the dudes are very. This is a sexist, somewhat sexist, racist, homophobic, conservative. Like this is a white place. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a very masculine. I get down to Miami. I'm seeing all these, I guess you could say, like metros, like you know, they take care of themselves and shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not used to it. I'm like, are you I'm getting some gay vibes, but you're not gay. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like it was like a culture shock. Like I never seen it.
You're not accustomed to it because it's like very metrosexual. It's very and it is what it is. You know, it's just that's what it is. Whenever we come into contact with things that we're not accustomed to since birth, then we grow. Right? But listen, I agree with everybody with everything. Just don't hurt, harm, or kill. Especially kids or anybody. You know what I mean? Just don't hurt, harm, or kill. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Do whatever you want to, man. Have your fun. You know. Shit, we can be best friends. You know what I mean? I don't care, bro. Just don't hurt, harm, or kill. That's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Listen, I gotta head out. My attorney's calling me right now. We got some stuff that we gotta catch up.
Yeah. I got to go pick up some ketchup. Is there any last things you want to leave everyone with?
No. Like you said, this is a long. I don't know how you're gonna cut this up. This is a long ass interview. You can find me on Instagram, CaptainPlanet.com.
Yeah. Just send me that info. Send me the 12 things that everyone needs, food wise, and send me, you know, a few sentences about yourself, contact information, social media. Just text that to me, and then we'll go from there. But this is really good. We got a lot of shit done. Got a lot of shit talked about. You asked me where I'm going to cut it down. I'm not, because every single thing of this is pure.
All right. Well, let's do it that way then. You know, it is what it is. Keep it how it is, and give people the whole situation. Yep. But no, it's good talking to you. I gotta head out, talk to my attorney, and we'll be in contact, man. I love your energy, bro.
Definitely.
You're young and you got it. You got it. You got it. Definitely.
All right. Send me that info and then we'll go from there. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.